Hi.
Hi.
And congratulations on your book.
Thank you.
Do you have a copy right there? I
I
left my
sure
copy
do,
on the seat.
Zibby.
Let's see.
Here it is.
Oh, so awesome. Saint Emo in the flesh.
With that.
Love it. Can you tell people who might not know what it's about?
Yes. See, it's everyone says this, but it actually is a difficult book to describe without giving away
True.
spoilers. It's like, don't you agree?
I agree. I do.
It's but it is about a couple living in Brooklyn who have a seemingly pretty idyllic life, and we come to learn, really struggling for various reasons involving their daughter. And they're invited to, at the same time, they're invited to spend a weekend upstate with estranged friends who they haven't been in contact with for many years. And these people have just had a baby, like a very late in life first baby. So they go up, and it's very much kind of I don't want to say a thriller because then you're expecting like a thriller, but it unfolds like a suspense novel, I would say, very psychologically driven. It's very internal, but then it also is very fast moving.
I
And
agree. Yeah, there's something you have to keep getting little bits of information to try to understand, and you're like trying to figure out along with the book as it goes by.
yeah, that's a good way to
How's that?
describe it.
I don't know,
A
right? Did
lot
you
of
get?
people have, a lot of people have mentioned that it would be a good film, or it feels like a play. Like it's very much kind of a small cast of characters, and um,
Like an indie film.
like an indie film, like the kind of film that I love that
Yeah.
people don't make as much anymore. But
My husband makes indie films. That's what
oh,
yeah, I know. You guys should talk. I should actually have him read your book. Yeah. He's optioned a couple of the books from my podcast. So
well,
there you go. I'm going to tell
come
him to
on.
read your book. I know, right? Well, your book is really great, movie or book version, because you're so in it with the characters and you feel like a sense of loss and that sense of like the world not being right. And I feel like that's exactly what everybody's feeling right now. And it's for a
Yes.
different reason in your book, but it's that same sense of like things used to be a certain way and they no longer are. And yet we still have to like go through the motions.
I think that's so smart. And to be honest, that's what I've been thinking about a lot recently, about reflecting about how my book really is about uncertainty. It's
Yes.
about learning to live with uncertainty, and learning to live alongside of grief, uncertainty, anxiety, kind of like living alongside of it. And when your life turns out to be not what you thought it would be, how
Yeah.
do you have a life? And
It's like exactly like now. It's like
and not in a depressing way. It's
no.
not. It's just when you don't recognize your life, what do you do with that? And sometimes what you do with that is surprising. I think that we're going to have a lot of very interesting stories that come out of this time.
I think so
Um,
too. I'm literally sometimes I was like falling asleep last night and I was wondering like just what's going on in everyone else's
I
environment. Like what
know.
are we going to hear about? What are people going to write about? What stories are going to come out? Like I don't know, like what's going on.
I
um,
know. And at
when
different ages, at different
yeah.
times in our life. So in some ways, my book has absolutely nothing to do with the moment, but in some ways, it's highly relevant. It's like,
I think
you know,
not topically but emotionally.
very emotionally relevant. It's weird actually how much you can draw parallels.
And
Um,
even how what's going on in the book that we will not discuss, but
yeah.
how that affects the relationship and how it affects a marriage. Also similar
Yes.
to now, right? Because all of this
Hmm.
stuff is affecting everybody's marriage, whether good or bad, or in
Yeah.
some way it's a shift.
Hmm.
So, and they
Yeah,
had
and
to
it's
kind of,
it's very much a book about intimacy, I think. I think like a lot of writers, I don't know what I'm writing a book about until it's long, the writing part is long over, you know? And I do think this book is in a lot of ways about intimacy and what that means, and um, yeah, strange kind of urges within intimacy, and how do you know yourself, and no,
yeah,
it's all there.
it's all there. And our podcast is going to come out this coming week.
Oh, good.
either
That was
Tuesday
such
or
a great
Wednesday.
conversation. And
Oh,
and because also I think it was this weird heightened time where the virus was really becoming real.
yeah.
I don't know, maybe that we'll see. We hear the podcast,
I
but
know.
I
I have to go.
remember
I'm
it
gonna have
being
to go back and
very
listen to it now.
I remember it being very deep, like I felt like it was a very meaningful conversation, because I haven't heard it. I just experienced it. I don't know what it'll sound like, but
I know. Hopefully,
it was
good.
a pleasure. I'm sure that I had the not uncommon response of wanting to stay in your apartment.
I mean, I wish I miss my apartment, but I mean, woe is me. I'm fine, but I miss life like it was, even
I
though
know.
I
I
mean,
know. I get texts sometimes from friends. I miss life. I
yeah,
miss just daily.
yeah. I feel like we've gone back to like Little House on the Prairie or something, right? You
Hmm.
only are with your family. You get really excited for the mail. I mean, that's it. That's like my big event is like a
The
package
mail.
or,
My
you
big
know.
event is cocktail hour.
Oh,
and, and my husband makes popcorn, which is really exciting.
that's
At like
cool.
around 5. That's like my big pleasure.
Yeah.
I
Five
think it
would,
is fun hearing people's, like you love the mail coming. Like
yeah,
what's the hot spot of the day?
yeah. This is really grasping at straws here. No, that's not true. The highlight of my day is when I get to talk to authors like you and do these live podcasts every day at 11 because this is like my complete sanity check. I mean, that's my life with kids and my life in my house,
Well,
best part.
you're doing really important work right now, seriously, because we worked for years on these books, years,
Well, I
and,
feel so
and
badly.
you're bringing books to the people. So
My gosh, I just literally like I just empathize so much, with all of you guys who put in all this work and I know it's not the only industry. Some people are
of
like, well, what
course,
about, why are you not talking to people in the theater? And I'm like, well, I don't know, because that's just not my, it's not
well,
my
it's like
thing.
a really good, great restaurant, at least in my opinion, serves, it's just they know what they do well, and they know what
Yeah,
they really where their true passion is.
yeah.
That flavor profile, or that that's what I feel like you're curating something
Thank you.
close to your heart and feel it.
That's true. Yeah, I do
Yeah,
care. I mean, and like your book is a perfect example. Like Saint Evo was so good, and
thank you.
um, it was great, and it's like just the right length for now too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like
Yeah,
one of these. I mean, not to say anything bad about other books, but it's good. It's nice and short and sweet, and it gets it across, and it gets you in right away. So it's
well,
great.
that's good. Thank you. It is funny. I am. I've never written a short book. All of my books, I've written 4 previous novels, and they're all quite long and kind of epic and in scope. And this book happens. I just narrowed my lens, and went very um, intimate, to reuse that word, but it's appropriate. And I did think like, oh, that was a good move. I didn't do it on purpose. I just followed my instinct in terms of where I was at, but attention span wise, we're we're all a little jittery. I think
Yeah,
this is definitely a 1 day, two day kind of you're in.
yeah, which is perfect, which is great. Anyway, thank you for coming on thank you for coming on my podcast, which will be
Thank
out
you
this week with you.
so
And
much. Such a
seriously,
pleasure to talk to you
you
always.
too. You're like my now we have to talk again like at the end if there is an end. We'll have
Exactly.
to like bookend the whole
I know we
thing.
got to bookend it.
Yeah.
I'll come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Something.
something.
All
All right.
right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zibby.
Okay.
Take
Bye.
care.